Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here tonight. NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode, full race live stream with a realistic broadcast. As always, it's the Camping World 300. I'm sure Marcus Lemonis is watching somewhere out there as we are at the Chicagoland Speedway. This is the middle portion of the season for the regular season for the Xfinity Series. Still 10 different winners. 2 drivers now have won multiple races on the season after Austin Cindric got his second win of the year at Iowa. We are 15 races complete, so still 11 races to go before the playoffs begin. Another mile and a half. Be interesting to see what Schneider and this 99 team can do. They have had a very, very solid stretch of runs on the mile and a half. So it has been a while since the last mile and a half, but they should have pretty decent speed today, despite qualifying 32nd. A little lackluster there, but he will be starting 29th with 3 drivers dropping to the back for the start of today's race. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content as we get rolling into this race here today. And we have more fun action on the channel within the next couple days before I leave for Talladega on Friday. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be vlogging the trip for the Xfinity and the Cup Series, so again, keep an eye on that this weekend. I'm stoked. I'm stoked for this weekend. Ethan, Jackson Thomas, Patrick Shadley, Trevor Grimes, welcome to the stream. Got your picks in for Dega. Nice, nice. I have not done too much research, but I do have my race win pick in. Tune in for the podcast. That will be on a special day, Thursday this week. Usually the pre-race podcast is the day of the race, but because, again, I'll be at Talladega, just in case the Wi-Fi isn't as great at the hotel, we are not going to do it on race day. I don't want to take that risk. It's like, oh, well, the hotel Wi-Fi is not very good, so I guess I can't stream. So, barring all that, we will make sure we get that in on Thursday evening at 5 o'clock. So, here we go. This is going to be a lot of fun. Back to a mile and a half. It's been a rough last couple races for the 99 team at Schneider, but they're expecting to have a decent day today. Harrison Burton, a man with 4 wins this season, starts on the pole once again today. He'll be going for his 5th win of the year. Jesse Little and Josh Bilicki, as well as Austin Hill, will be the 3 drivers starting at the rear of the field. And the green flag is about to drop here. The Camping World 300 again at Chicagoland.
Starter has the green flag in his hand. Ready?
Green flag in the air, we're underway. Harrison Burton leads the field to the green. Schneider was maybe a little too tight in qualifying. That's probably why he qualified 32nd, so they loosened the car up into the race. Good practice for this one. Hopefully that qualifying session at least helped them a little bit with trying to get the setup right for the start of today's race.
Careful, go back.
People already watching here in this one. Again, thanks for everybody tuning in. Harrison Burton quickly leads.
Inside.
And Burton will lead lap 1, 3 wide towards the back of the pack between Jeff Green, Schneider in the middle. Matt Mills made that great move to the inside. Boy, Mills is rocketing through the field, quickly underneath Baccarola, and Josh Williams on the 92 as well. Schneider overshoots the corner a little bit, barely slides up in front of Jeff Green. Green almost ends up in the wall as Bilicki and McLaughlin move down to the inside to get around all 3 of those guys off turn 2. Harrison Burton still leads in turns 3 and 4. Now he has lost the lead. Anthony Alfredo is clear off turn 4. Another driver without a win this season. Has been inconsistent this season. Actually had a DNF at Iowa, but he does lead lap 2 tonight at Chicagoland. Let me make sure the chat's still up right now. Okay, we're good. Had 9 people watching. The chat was silent there for a couple minutes from the start of the stream, so I wanted to make sure that it wasn't paused on my behalf there. Schneider quickly drops back to the last place position of 36th right now. And Anthony Alfredo will lead lap 2 and lap 3 at the line. Then Harrison Burton led lap 1 and then lost the lead on turn 4, lap 2. But he's still battling as well as Chase Briscoe. Briscoe started outside pole in 2nd. Also a driver with the win this season. Way back at Las Vegas in race number 2. He's had some consistent runs this year. We'll see what he can do today. You mentioned Schneider has been pretty good on the mile and halves this year. His only win of the season came way back in race number 5 at Atlanta. Hard to believe that's already been 10 races since that first career win. He has been close to getting a win a couple times since then, including a second place run at Texas on another mile and a half racetrack. We only have 1 more mile and a half left on the schedule before the playoffs after today, and that's at Kentucky in 3 races. And we have a long stretch where we don't go to another mile and a half again until Las Vegas in the playoffs. Second race in the playoffs to be exact. Schedule cleared up, yeah. Oh, for weather purposes, just want to put this out here. I saw some people in the chat last night saying that there's actually a chance of snow where I live. Well, there's a chance of snow where I live too. We're supposed to get 2 to 4 inches of snow tonight. It started snowing just after I got home today. It wasn't really sticking to the ground until maybe about an hour ago, and it's sticking to the ground pretty quickly. It rained a lot there before it turned to snow. Might be ice. I'm not saying we'll be on, we have like a level system in Northwest Ohio. We had a level 3 once earlier this year when we had about a foot of snow in about an 18-hour period. So we're not supposed to get that much snow, but depending on how icy it is, if for some reason it is a level 3, we might be doing a double header tomorrow on the channel if I'm not able to make it into work. If we get snowed in again. We might still have one anyway, but definite if I can't make it in. We're probably going to have a doubleheader anyway because I'm not going to be able to golf. Like today, I was at home before 5:30, so tomorrow, even if I do go in, I'll be home before 5:30. I think we can get a little doubleheader action in NASCAR 05 Chase for the Cup. So an interesting doubleheader to say the least. NASCAR 05 will be on the channel tomorrow. Knock out 2 races. We will be Busch Series racing as well for NASCAR 05 this week. Been doing the trucks the last couple of weeks. Doing the Busch Series once again. Pearson Burton's just regained the race lead. That last lap was able to take it away. Schneider, for some reason, is just looking really slow. Just ran his fastest lap of the race, but it doesn't mean it's all that fast. He's 4 seconds behind the 35th place car of Mike Harmon. Burton leads. Yep, online lobby will be coming on Thursday. Not sure on what time yet, but remember, we're still doing a full race live stream that day as well. I'll probably do the online lobby after. So we might have that full race live stream a little bit earlier so we can get everything in at an according time because I do have to leave fairly early the next morning from Vega. But it's only 85 laps for the Cup Series at Mid-Ohio, so the race shouldn't take more than 2 hours, I'm guessing. So honestly, we could start at like 6 and then 8 o'clock we can do. In between the streams, I get something to eat, make sure everything's packed and ready to go for tomorrow, so I'm not up too late on Thursday night. Not tomorrow, I meant Thursday. Should have mostly everything ready to go tomorrow. Cap 24, welcome to the stream. Always next season. Are you talking about for the for this season for the Xfinity series? Can we have it at like 7? Maybe, but it's probably going to have to be closer to 8. Because even, I'm not going to do the full race live stream any earlier than 5. Well, see, that's the thing too. I don't know. Because we have to do the we have to do the podcast at 5. So that means the full race live stream is probably going to be at 6. So we're going to have to do the online lobby at 8. Or whenever the full race live stream gets done, which it should be done around 8 o'clock. We'll have to do a 8:30. It's going to be between 8 and 8:30. We're going to have to do the online lobby between 8 and 8:30. That's pretty much finalized. Start the full race. Wait, what? Start the full race lobby at 1. No, we're not doing a full race in the lobby. We're doing I can't do the full race at 1. I'm not off. I have to work a half a day. I'm taking a half day that I usually have off on Thursdays, but I picked up a half a day at work because I don't have a vacation time accumulated. I'm still too new at this place. So my time off for all the races I'm going to at the beginning of the year, which includes Talladega this week, it's unpaid, so I need to get as many hours in as I can before I leave. So another reason I'm kind of hoping to snow. We don't get snowed in, so I can go to work tomorrow. Nope, no driving games. You're talking about the online lobby, no driving games. We don't use driving games anymore. Schneider trying to block Harrison Burton right now. He does not want to lose his lap. Quite surprised how slow this 99 of Schneider is this early in the race. Look at Chase Briscoe and Anthony Alfredo charging hard from behind. Alfredo to the outside of Harrison Burton for the lead. And here comes Briscoe down to the bottom as well. Alfredo still riding the wall. Schneider now gets a little tight in the corner. And he is in the wall. He got really tight, got out of the gas, and still ended up in the wall. Loosened it up from where it was in qualifying, but he has just been very slow in today's race. This is abnormal for the mile and a half. So he has not looked this slow in a mile and a half all season. That even includes Vegas earlier this year when he finished 7 laps down. Already 1 lap down. Not even halfway through stage 1. Still a decent ways to go on the overall season. Trying to decide the champion. Once again, Schneider's hoping for another driver to win today's race. That has not won. Or sorry, that has won already this season. He does not want to see a new winner. Anthony Alfredo was able to take that lead again. Driving best. Yeah, no stability help, no driving games or anything like that. We'll lay it all on the line. We'll do a handful of races. We'll probably race for a good hour. It depends what time we get started. If we can get started earlier, we'll race even longer. And it is on PS4, by the way. It is on PlayStation 4. Sorry if you don't have a PlayStation 4, but I don't have anything that I can race on outside of it. Catching stick. You'll get the hang of it. This game's not that hard. It's a lot easier to drive the cars on this game than what it is to drive on those older EA games, let me tell you. You think this is hard? Try NASCAR Thunder 2004. See if you can hang on to the race cars in those older games. I was struggling out of the gate when we first started that series. I was still struggling towards the end, just not as bad as I was before. I was so used to playing the NASCAR Heat games. It's been a while. Chase Briscoe's now gained the race lead once again.
Car on the outside now.
There's some Xbox and PS3. I don't think you can race Xbox and PS4 like lobbies. I don't think you can race the same one. I'm pretty sure it's you have to be like because you have a PlayStation account to play online. You PlayStation account doesn't transfer to an Xbox. I would assume you have like an Xbox Live account. I've never owned an Xbox, so
All right.
I wouldn't know.
Car on the outside.
I know that's how it is for
You're all okay on
PlayStation.
top there.
I mean, you could always try, but I don't
Got a
think
car
it,
high now.
I don't think it works. Schneider still 6.5 seconds behind Mike Harmon for position. 22 laps to go in stage 1. And again, I just cannot believe how slow this 99 car is today. 3 wide behind him with Riley Herbst, Brandon Jones, Ross Chastain.
Outside.
Jesse Little started at the rear. He's just outside the top 10. He's got a fast car at number 4.
Got a car coming inside now. You got room.
Yeah, I mean, you can always try, but
Car there on the
not
inside. All right. You're clear.
like 50-50 on whether you can or
24
can't.
laps. Bell to change it.
I want to say you can't.
Hold your line. Got one inside.
Two completely different companies that own those two. Microsoft produces Xbox and Sony produces PlayStation, so it's not even like it's the same company. It's like trying to use stuff that's only compatible for like Windows computers, and they don't necessarily transfer to Microsoft because Microsoft is Google. Or I should say Chromebooks, because Chromebooks are Microsoft. Josephina Bravo, welcome to the stream. Say Josephina. Just did. Sounded like a threat.
Car there on the outside. All right. Clear outside.
I cannot believe how slow Schneider is tonight.
Got one up top. Keep it steady, driver. 3 wide.
He was slow in the last 2 races. We expected him to be slow at Michigan because of the long straightaways and only 85 for the engine power. And then we expected him to be slow in the last race at Iowa as well because they didn't have a short track chassis. They had to use the road course chassis at the short track, and he is more than a lap and a half down in stage 1. Still in last, and he is not even closing in, really, on Mike Harmon, Joe Grattini, Austin Hill, Cesar Bacano, any of the rear drivers at the rear of the field right now. There he did say it. They can hold me hostage. Schneider's just got to make sure he stays 1 lap down to the end of the stage. He goes 2 laps down, he's never going to be able to get back into this race. Knowing how bad of a car he's got speed-wise, though, I don't even know if it's going to work anyway. We'll wait and see. Managing the tires pretty well. Especially the left side tire. The left side's not wearing out hardly at all. Big battle for the lead between the top 3. We've seen that throughout pretty much the entirety of this race up to this point. Only the first 30 laps. Between Harrison Burton, Anthony Alfredo, and Chase Briscoe. They started within the first couple rows. Those are the 2 drivers that started on the front row over Burton and Briscoe. 15 laps to go, stage 1.
got one inside.
Allgaier's not having a particularly great day either at 18th in junior motorsports equipment. There's Matt Mills that we saw flying by early in the race. He's in 19th. He's getting a little quicker, but I mean, he's not even close to really being able to hang with these 18th and 19th place drivers right now on the racetrack.
Hold your line, got one inside.
Yeah, I'll be getting a PS5 before the next NASCAR game comes out is my plans.
That's fast.
I don't know how that'll work with online live as exactly. Stupid Xbox PS4. I've only ever owned PlayStations. PlayStation 2, PSP, PS3, PS4. That's all I've ever had. Trying to go down to the apron for more and more speed. Trying to find anything you can right now. This team's going to have to make some major adjustments on pit road just to even really crack the top 20 at this point would be a miracle. Crazy things have happened already this season. A lot of crazy things. So you just can't rule it out of the question. Schneider could still finish on the lead lap today despite showing the speed he's showing in this race currently.
Keep it nice and smooth for it.
He's definitely going to have to battle Harrison Burton a lot harder than what he did earlier. But whoever's going to be in the lead by the time they get to him. I mean, this is unbelievable. Even at Iowa, when he had a really slow car in the long run, he would catch up to 29th by the end of the first two stages. He can't even get out of last place right now. I mean, this is as slow as we have seen Schneider all season long. We've seen him really slow at Michigan and Iowa. This is just strange because this team has had a great mile-and-a-half program outside of the first mile-and-a-half at Vegas. Every other one since has been really good. Homestead, the strategy just was so close to working, and it wasn't like it was a bad strategy either, trying to take the wave rounds when he did. He was just very unlucky with the timing of the cautions in that race. 7 laps to go for Harrison Burton in stage number 2, and he is now only got one car in between him and the 99 of Schneider. The 20th place car, Balicki, just wheeled right around Schneider on the outside. Jackson Thomas, welcome to the stream. It's just insane. It wasn't a great qualifying effort, but I don't think anybody could have expected this to happen today. Not good for a guy that needs to stay in the top 20 in points. He's still 11th coming in today, but we still got 10 more races till the playoffs after this one concludes. Schneider's trying to block Harrison Burton off turn 4. Chase Briscoe's the second place car right now, and Schneider's going to try to hang on for dear life, but there is no way he is going to hang on in front of the leaders with this slow race car. Alex Levan, 21st, might be able to get back to the lead lap to the outside. He's going to get there on Harrison Burton. Schneider's thought about going up to block him, but he had too much of a run and couldn't block it. Chase Briscoe's going to try to get to the outside now as well. And Briscoe's going for the lead on Harrison Burton. They're side by side for the lead down the backstretch. Look at how low they are driving down the straightaway. Trying to side draft each other. Into turns 1 and 2. Briscoe has just put Schneider 2 laps down in stage 1. Here comes Noah Gregson out of nowhere. He wants a shot to win the stage. Contact between the 20 and the 99. On the inside, Gregson is up to 3rd. Briscoe leads, but not by much. Top 3 under a blanket. Cindric back and forth. Trying to pull in on him. And Schneider is getting tight later into this run again, too. That's making it even slower. Still 3.5 seconds behind second to last. 35th, Mike Harmon. 3 laps to go in stage 1. Alfredo coming in hot. Schneider trying to get out of his way. Alfredo went 5th. 2 laps to go on the stage for Chase Briscoe off turn 4.
Two to go, driver.
Briscoe still trying to hold on. Burton to the high side, Briscoe to the inside. They're still battling through heavy lap traffic, and those lap cars are not going to go down easy. They are trying to stay on the lead lap, knowing it's the final lap of stage 1. Green, white, checkered flag in the air on turn 4. Chase Briscoe wins stage number 1 here at Chicagoland. Schneider, dead last. Pretty much from start to finish in the opening stage, finishes 2 laps down. Where did the speed go that he had on the 1.5 miles earlier this year? This is not what he had in store, or in his mind, for today's race. Josh Balicki gets the free pass at 20th. Again, Chase Briscoe wins stage 1. Another playoff point for him. DB Forever 85, welcome to the stream. And Schneider's going to stay out of the pits. He's going to try to take the wave around. He'll get the 1 lap down. He's going to hope for a quick caution. We went caution free through stage 1 as well, and that definitely didn't help the 99 team. And a caution at any point there would have at least kept him 1 lap down. He's going to take the wave around to get back to 1 lap down and hope for a quick caution before he loses that lap. Or has to pit because of that right front tire. So this is a big risk.
All right, be smart out there. Going green.
It's been 50-50 on the strategy this season when he's been in these situations. It seems like the latter races, longer and longer we get into the season, it's not working quite as much as what it was those first handful of races where he was able to get top 10s at Fontana, win at Atlanta, Texas, and finish second. Those were all in the first 6 races of the year. Briscoe won the race off pit road, so he'll restart from the lead. Stage number 2.
You're all clear up top.
Gregson in the lead now off turn 4 to lead his first lap of the race. Yeah, hopefully you can make it out. Hopefully most of you guys can make it out for that one.
Car outside.
Schneider's currently showing 34. Kilgraf Jr. Mike Harmon still 2 laps down. Everybody pitted during the stage break except for Schneider. He stayed out to take the wave around, hoping for a quick caution here in stage 1. Then he'll pit. That'll give him fresher tires for another restart. Then he can finally pit for that first time as well to give himself not only new tires, but just a new car. Essentially, but just trying to make any adjustments he can, and hopefully race his way to the free pass position on those said fresh tires. Hopefully restart the final stage on the lead lap is ideally what he's hoping for out of stage 2. That would be the perfect situation. They need to get this car faster. Toronto, if they want a chance at any sort of major points today. It's already failed stage 1, no stage points there. It wasn't even close. Trapping himself 2 laps down at the end of the first stage. Yeah, he's 1 lap down now, but everybody from 20 on up is on the lead lap still. He's likely not going to get any sort of stage points in this stage either. Likely. Getting that right front's wearing out. About 19% off turn 2. He's only got about 8 more laps he can go on fuel as well. So again, he was really hoping for a quick caution. Burton back out in front again. Burton led the most laps in stage 1, but it was Briscoe again getting the stage win. Only just 35 laps to go in stage 2. First 2 stages each 45 laps. Final stage 110. 200 laps, 300 miles total for the Camping World 300 tonight. I'm just not a big fan of F1 though. I give them credit where credit's due that the one race I've watched this year was good, but I'm just not a big fan of F1. It's not like I just shoot it down without trying to get into it. I mean, again, I tried to watch a race this year too. There's some things I like about it, but a lot of things I just don't like about it. I just feel like the governing body of how everything's managed just isn't, I don't know, it's just not to my liking, I guess.
See if we can manage our tire wear a little, okay?
Anthony Alfredo out in front. Schneider was kind of playing the strategy knowing that, okay, we haven't had a caution yet, but we have to get one at some point, right? Why not early in stage 2? Well, if he doesn't get one in 4 more laps, he's going to have to pit. And he's going to go back to 2 laps down and likely end up going 3 laps down before the end of the stage if he doesn't get a caution soon after he pits.
Watch those tires.
If I hate sense. Well, we can agree on that, Cap. I really don't feel like spending the money to buy that game. I'm not really a fan of F1. Yeah, the tire wear is fine. Tire wear is fine. I know the tires are wearing out, but that's because we're at the end of the run. Schneider's only going to be able to go 2 more laps on fuel anyway.
Go easy on the tires.
He needs a caution quick. Gonna take right sides only if he does have to pit under green to try and save whatever sort of time he can. Remember, this pit crew has been slow all season also. It's definitely a work in progress. This is a team total. They don't get more than 12 different winners, which means if we get 3 more winners, different winners that is, in the regular season, Schneider's going to have to try and either get a second win or race his way into the top 12 in points.
You're wearing those tires down, driver.
He's currently sitting 11th coming into this race. And he's dropped 2 spots in the last 2 races due to poor runs. Schneider's going to pit this time by. And it doesn't look like he's going to get the caution he needed. Took the risk, it didn't pan out. And the right the right side tires are going to be the only ones that will be changed here under the yellow. And he's going to take just enough fuel to get to the end of the stage. So Schneider back to 2 laps down. He's really hoping he can get back out there before they come back and lap him a 3rd time. We did speed on pit. Funny you mentioned that. We sped on pit road during one of these situations earlier this season. I can't remember what race it was, but we tried to stay out and take the wave round. We didn't get the caution. Then I sped on pit road on top of it and lost another lap. I can't remember what race that was. That was a race we were actually running good too. There goes Noah Gregson, who's currently leading the race on by. So Schneider's 3 laps down. He did not get the wave around to work. And oh, looks like we have trouble. Nearly. I think Michael Annette got loose off of turn 2, and he was able to save it. I think he ran in the back of his teammate Daniel Hemrick getting into the corner. My goodness. Bob had a wreck.
Got one peeking inside.
Schneider's still trying to get up to speed. Everybody's flying by him. Got 3.5 sets of tires left the rest of the way.
We got a car high now.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of strategy that goes into F1, but there's a lot of strategy that goes into every kind of racing. It's different through every motorsports, that's for sure. No two motorsports are the same. I mean, you just look at, American motorsports, the top 3 series of American motorsports, and how vastly different they are between NASCAR, IndyCar, and NASCAR. And then, even if you do want to throw F1 in the mix because of how big it is worldwide, being the biggest motorsports in the world as far as popularity, and that's vastly different from any other open wheel racing. There are similarities to IndyCar, but they're still nowhere near the same. Different types of, that kind of goes with every other motorsports too. Motorsports have the same tire count. Because each car is different. That's the main thing. That's why F1 is the way it is. People love it.
Car there on the inside.
I'm not going to bash people that like F1. It's just not my cup of tea. Back out in front. This has been a disastrous race for Schneider today. I cannot believe that they are running as slow as they have in today's race, knowing that they've been great on the mile and a half this year. And this is the worst race of the season going for them right now. This is definitely a scary situation for this team that needs points, because this was the roughest stretch of the year through these 5 races. But this was supposed to be the highlight within those 5 races. And it's looking like the lowest light right now. Next 2 races, we go to Pocono. I should say 4-race stretch. We go to Pocono next. That's going to be tough. Oh, yeah, and then Indianapolis after that. So that's part of the 5-race tough stretch there. So Pocono and Indy, the next 2 races, much like Michigan, long straightaways. Only 85 on the engine power. It's just not going to really pan out for him. It's early enough in the year. It's not like he's in dire need of another win right now, but I mean, we get 8 more races down the line in the playoffs, and he needs to win. Will he be able to capitalize in a must-win situation? Good enough. And then you fast forward 10 more races and you only got 2 more spots open left in the playoffs. 4 wins. And it's looking like we're going to have more than 12 winners this year. Crazy. Time to jump manufacturers. Yeah, we made the decision to jump to Toyota when we were running with Fords, and initially it was actually looking like a success, but these last 3 races, I mean, we have been brutally slow. And this is the race, like, we ran good on the mile and a half this year. I was not expecting this at all today. I mean, nowhere close to it. Plus, it's no chase system. I don't think the playoffs are as bad as people think they are. They're really not. I mean, at least the current playoffs are better than anything else we've had. Chase/playoff wise, I think it's the best one. Because it actually makes the regular season matter more than any of the other chase/playoff. I understand why they do it. I like it. Personally, would I like to see it the other way? I don't really know. Like, it's better for the sport, I feel like, to keep it the way it is now, just simply so they have a point system that they can keep and start to legitimize, because it will legitimize itself as time goes on. If they keep this point system for even 20 more years, let's say, 20 years from now, we're not going to be talking about, oh, they shouldn't have changed the playoff format, because there's going to be so many different fans at that time. And yeah, I'm still going to be watching, and you guys are probably still going to be watching. You'll remember that, but it's not going to be as big of a deal versus what it is now, because it's still fairly new. And really, a chase/playoff format in general, compared to a season-long championship, it's already been 17 years. And I feel like if NASCAR wanted to change it back, they would have already. And if they go back to a season-long championship, then that just pretty much says, I mean, that pretty much says that, okay, we messed up, which is one thing to say. It's another thing to say, so all those, champions you crowned under that format, what do they really mean if you just switch the points format back? You're just proving to everybody that would have said Jimmy Johnson's 7 championships, for instance, didn't matter because they were under the quote-unquote playoff format, even though he did what he had to do to win the championship every year. It wasn't like he had bad seasons when he won the championship all those years. He had championship caliber seasons. I get the debate for it, going back and forth, but at the same time, can't we all just come together and, decide on a solution that fits both? Please? Pray you win Daytona. If it comes down to us having to win Daytona at the end of the regular season, that is going to be a wild, wild race. We finished 6th there earlier this season, and we did finish 2nd at Talladega, and there's the caution. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Everybody's going to hit pit road. Schneider's going to take the wave around again. He's going to get from 3 laps down to 2 laps down. He was 1 lap down at the start of the stage, 2 at the end of stage 2. He won't have to go that long. It's the first caution for incident today. Lewis Hamilton, the Cup car on Goins channel. Looks like I didn't even know he had Lewis Hamilton. That's pretty cool what he does with the career mode, though. It has its own dialogue. Tommy Joe Martins is out of the race. That's a free spot for Schneider. Tough break for Martins. He was one of the drivers that was in position to actually point their way in. He's had a great season. Had a great run at Iowa in the last race as well. But he is the cause of the first caution for incident today. Just 9 laps to go as we go green to the end of stage 2. Schneider with the wave around. I think this is going to work out for him pretty well.
Still there.
Everybody pitted at the end of the stage. Now if they stay out, he can pit at the stage break and continue to work on that race car.
Stay on the bottom.
not a huge fan of F1's point system either, though. Like, I understand, you know, why they do it, but at the same time, what are you racing for 11th through 20th on the grid? Like, if you're not racing for any points. Like, I feel like I can see the last couple positions not being worth any points, but half the field not getting points, it's just like... And I get it's a smaller field, too, but still... It's like if NASCAR only awarded points for the top 20 every week. I just don't feel like, I mean, that would be the same thing, basically. It puts more emphasis on trying to finish in the top 10, which I get that. But at the same time, again, like, what are you racing for? It's not much better to finish 11th. Like, you can literally finish dead last in 20th, and you get the same amount of points as the guy that finishes 11th. You know, it's not a perfect point system. Ours isn't perfect either, but I don't think there really is a perfect point system, is there? Even the Winston Cup points, you know, people talk about gimmicks with the NASCAR playoffs, like leading one lap, 5 bonus points. And if you lead the most laps in the race and finish second, you still score just as many points as the guy that won the race. You know, so if you... And what I think I remember seeing on one of the Slash Shoes videos that when he was talking about like the playoffs versus regular season standings, there have been 3 drivers to win the championship with the Winston Cup points format, or just a season-long points championship in general, that did not have the best average finish because of bonus points that were awarded throughout the season. You would think, like, okay, a true champion would be average, you know, best average finish, but then you could also say that the guy with the most wins and the best average finish, like a combination of the two, should probably be champion. I think that's what the playoffs were kind of trying to award. Ryan Newman about broke that system in 2014. So again, there's like, there isn't, they don't want backmarkers getting points. Well, yeah, see, well, that's fine if they don't want backmarkers getting points and don't award the points from like 15th through 20th. But what about, you can't tell me that an 11th place, if you finish 11th every single race throughout the course of the season, you still might have a better average finish than the guy who finishes, like, in the points, for instance, in F1, 7th through 10th a couple times throughout the course of the year, and then majority of the season he finishes 15th. But he still finishes higher than you in points. So it's not like it's only the back markers, it's literally half the field than that. Half the field isn't back markers. Half the field doesn't win every week, but that's just because of the competition level in F1. Which is also kind of different from NASCAR.
White flag is in the air.
Green, white, checkered flag in the air again. Noah Gragson is going to win stage 2 here at Chicagoland. Chase Briscoe, remember, won stage 1. This race is flying by today. Only one caution for incident. And now we're going to be seeing some pit stops from the 99 of Schneider. It'll be a 4-tire stop. Going to take a round of wedge out of the car to try and help loosen it up. 2 pounds of air pressure all the way around as well. So major adjustments on the 99 team. A couple drivers that were 2 and 3 laps down all pitted. Again, Tommy Joe Martin's the only driver out of the race. Looked like 2 drivers on the lead lap also hit pit road during the stage break. Green flag back in the air. Schneider still got 2.5 sets of tires left the rest of the way. So he did take the wave around there at the end of stage 2. He got one of his 3 laps back. He's back to 2 laps down. Now he's got fresher tires than the majority of the guys in the lead lap.
Careful. Still there.
Tommy Joe Martins again brought out that first and only caution for incident today. Jesse Little to the lead off turn 4. What a restart.
Careful. Still there.
Talk about an upset winner. Jesse Little trying to pull it off.
Still there.
Now Schneider can go an extra 9 laps on fuel if we have a super long green flag run to start the final stage. Daniel Hemrick to the lead off turn 4, passing Jesse Little as well as Little. He doesn't have a win this season. Hemrick, the only junior motorsports car without a win this year. Too close in a couple different races. Mid-Ohio, we led a lot of laps in that one, but couldn't seal the deal. Even on fresher tires right now, Schneider's not really hanging on with these guys. And blimp up the air pressure, maybe not only maybe loosen the car up a little more. And now we get another caution. Looks like we have multiple cars tangle into the outside wall off turn 4. That's going to be our second caution for incident today. More drivers on the lead lap pitting. Free pass will go to Landon Castle in 23rd. Schneider's going to stay out of the pits this time. No need for him to pit. Use up another set of tires. Especially after he just did hit pit road a couple laps ago.
Alright now, be smart out there.
Second caution of the race has flown. Green flag back in the air at Chicago. Daniel Hemrick leads the field to the green. Still just over half the race to go. Actually, exactly half the race to go. Cross flags mark as we go green. 100 laps remain. Schneider, despite restarting on the top, quickly gets down to the bottom, but he does have some more lap cars on fresher tires behind him as they go 3 wide down the backstretch. Not sure what the strategy is going to call for the rest of this race, honestly. Honestly surprised we saw that quick of a caution in the final stage.
Car high, careful there.
Harrison Burton back to the lead. Timmy Hill just shoving Schneider straight up the racetrack off turn 2. Trying to help him out and get him going even more again, but it's not really working. Another push. Oh boy, 3 wide, almost 4 wide off the exit of the corner. David Starr pulls up to try and block the 99 of Schneider, and he got into it. The only good thing about Indianapolis and Pocono, even if we aren't too fast, it's a 2.5-mile track. Unless we're, even if we're as slow as we were tonight, it's going to be hard to go a lap down in each of the first 2 stages. Being shorter. What I think Pocono, with it being a 100-lap race, I think the first stage is 20 laps, and stage 2 might be 20 as well. Maybe they're 25 and 25. They're not any more than 25, I'd have to imagine. So I don't, on that big of a track, I don't see us going a lap down that early into the race. Although I could prove myself wrong. We'll just have to wait and see. But that should help us as far as strategy goes. I guess the next career mode race isn't going to be for a while though on the channel, because we got NASCAR 05 tomorrow night. And then we got NASCAR Heat 5 again on Thursday with the custom scheduled Cup Series season on the championship mode. The NASCAR Heat 5 in Mid-Ohio. We'll have the online lobby on Thursday night as well. NASCAR Fantasy Podcast also on Thursday, so a lot of streaming on Thursday. Then I leave for Talladega Friday, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there won't be any streams on the channel. Then I will be back on Monday, and if I'm back soon enough, we'll stream Monday night. But that will be right back with the championship mode again, because it's on a Monday. We might not have another career mode episode of NASCAR Heat 5 until next week on Tuesday. It might be a full week. Maybe that's what this team needs. They probably need a week off after this rough stretch of 3 races. This race isn't over yet tonight, but it has definitely not looked very good speed-wise. Again, even on fresher tires, not fresher than everybody right now, but he does have about 9-lap fresher tires and a decent portion of the field still, over half the field. He is still last of the cars running. Now, the good thing is he's 33rd, because Tommy Gilmartin's his DNF. Mike Harmon and Joe Graf Jr. are 3 laps down. Schneider's 2. Schneider again took the wave run at the end of stage 2 to get one of those 3 laps back. So Harmon and Joe Graf Jr. are likely not going to catch Schneider the rest of the night. This will at least save Schneider from a career worst finish, which is 34th at Las Vegas, second race of the season. Mentioned he's been good on the mile and a half, so the reason that race is bad is because of the bad luck he had in trying to get the 3 pass positions. Much like what ended up happening at another race earlier this season back at Homestead. It's also on the mile and a half. Didn't get the strategy to get the wave around to work well at the beginning of stage 2, but at the end of it, it worked. And you could probably argue, even if you would have pitted for tires, you would have been 2 laps down anyway. To that point when the caution came out. But then, you could also say, though, too, okay, so he would have been 2 laps down, could have taken the wave around, then he could have been 1 lap down instead of 2 right now, and he'd be inside the top 30, which you'd be right, but hindsight's always 20/20. You can't predict those things until after the fact. You see what happens. It just didn't pan out for us at all. Tell you what, somebody who has been on a tear this season again is Harrison Burton. Can he get that 5th win of the season tonight? It's only the 16th race of the year. He's trying to do what Chase Briscoe did last season and win 9 races throughout the course of the year. Briscoe broke an Xfinity Series record for the most amount of wins in a single Xfinity Series season with 9. They'll jump to the Cup Series and caution will wave again. 3rd of the race. We got more drivers on the lead lap pitting again. 92 laps to go. Free pass will go to Joe Nemechek in 24th. Mixture of lap cars and lead lap cars pitting again. Going to drop a pound in the left side tires here for Schneider. And it's going to be right side tires only, and he's going to top off on fuel. So he's taken right sides twice, 4 tires once. He's still got 2 sets left for the final just less than 90 laps of the race. Green flag back in the air again at Chicago. Chase Briscoe leads the field in the green. After So a lot of the leaders hit the pits that time, but not enough for Schneider to even think about taking the wave around. Remember, he needs everybody to pit for the lead lap if he's going to take the wave around.
You're all clear up top.
Really just trying to find a way to loosen this car up. Taking right side is going to help loosen the car up a little bit again as well. Still seems like he's tight. It doesn't help he's been in traffic.
Still there.
Hill gonna get underneath and 3 wide off the exit of turn 2. Oh, and Schneider got turned by Austin Hill. Hill squeezed himself into the wall. He was gonna take it 4 wide. There wasn't enough room, and he almost hooked Schneider. Well, he did hook him, but luckily Schneider barely kept it off the wall. He got pushed into Vaccarella from behind from Joe Graff Jr. Schneider has gone over halfway through the regular season without a DNF so far this year. He wants to keep that trend going. He's trying to get out of everyone's way again.
Car on the outside now.
Ryan seemed to the lead.
Got one outside.
So we didn't have a caution this entire race until lap 72. Towards the end of stage number 2. And now we've had 3 cautions in about the last 40 laps. May get another caution. Trouble in turns 3 and 4. Our 4th of the day. I mean, we can't even get a long run anymore now. Free pass goes to Timmy Hill in 25th. I mean, the strategy's all over the place right now. All these guys pitting at separate laps. You don't know who's pit when. We do get a long green flag run. Not sure who brought out that accident. Everything gets scrambled up together on these restarts, and we can't seem to make it 10 laps into a run without getting another crash. So 4 cautions now in about a 40-lap stretch after none in the first 72 laps of tonight's race. Green flag back in the air. 79 laps to go at Chicago. Just got ran into from behind in the middle of 1 and 2. Joe Graff Jr. once again.
Still there.
Tyler is probably holding him up. He's trying to get out of his way. Joe Graff just keeps pushing him off the exit of these corners.
Got one up top.
Finally gets to the outside of Schneider.
Careful, still there.
Gregory Johnson, welcome to the stream. We did get a second driver to DNF in tonight's race during that last caution. I'm not sure who it was that brought the yellow out. Tommy Joe Martin was the first driver who retired from the race back in stage 2. Just 4 wide off turn 2 towards the back of the pack. Burton back to the lead on another restart. It's a pretty calm race up until the end of stage 2. This has flipped into a complete 180 with the amount of cautions we've seen here as of late. Now trying to go full throttle through turns 1 and 2. He's actually able to make it through the corner, and that's only because he hit his marks about as well as he could. At this point, he is definitely getting about the most out of the race car he possibly can. Full throttle from 3 and 4 as well as he tries to run the high side. I don't think that's going to work for him either. Now, a lot of the field has full fresh tires, and still got those 2 old left side tires in the car at the end of stage 2. I just cannot believe lack of speed. I mean, it is really mind-boggling. We've seen this team compete so well in the mile and a half. So they got second place. Their only win came at Atlanta on a mile and a half. That second came at Texas. And they aren't showing anything here in this race today at Chicagoland. Like he's a little better at 1 and 2 than what he is 3 and 4. It's a lot easier for him to go full throttle and hit the bottom of the track. This is if he tries to hit full throttle in 3 and 4, he can't really get the car to the bottom. He did get the car to the bottom that time. It's probably his best lap yet in this race. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets clocked for his fastest lap at the line, 32.947. Not quite. Actually, he was about 0.6 of a second off his fastest lap of the race. I guess he does have those old left side tires still. And the right sides have even caught up to him. Doesn't help he's got the damage to the back of his race car from Joe Graf Jr. also. One thing piling onto another, and I'm kind of dreading where we're going to be in the point standings after this race. Best thing that could happen is we get another repeat winner, even if it is Harrison Burton getting his 5th win of the season here tonight at Chicagoland. Tyler's got to take care of this race car as well. This is the same chassis he has to bring to the racetrack in both Pocono and Indianapolis in the next 2 races. I believe the next 2 races after that are Kentucky and New Hampshire as well. So this is a 5-race stretch in which he has to use the same intermediate chassis, same speedway chassis. So he really has to take care of it tonight. It doesn't help beating up a little bit. Not from him though. He's only gotten into the wall once. That was at the end of stage 1, pushing the car a little too hard to try and stay 1 lap down before going 2 down. dreadful. Definitely the worst three-race stretch this team's had. Again, how much further back are they going to fall after Pocono? All they can do is just keep fighting. You know, you fight for every position you can get every race. Even in the last 2 races, including today at Chicagoland, we're trying to take the lead around like we did, capitalize on it to at least be able to beat Joe Graf Jr. and Mike Harmon today. As long as we don't DNF, we're going to beat those 2 guys. As well as whoever else DNFs the rest of the way. Tommy Joe Martins has already. Whoever brought out that last caution already DNF'd as well. Again, unaware of who that driver is up to this point. Harrison Burton's coming. Still got company behind him. Noah Gregson, and I don't know who that is in 3rd place quite yet. I believe it's Anthony Alfredo. The top 3 are still right there. Burton's not really checking away from those guys. I don't know what happened to Chase Briscoe, but he was nowhere in the vicinity he was when he won stage 1. Going to try to battle and not to go another lap down. Burton's easily going to just walk to the outside of Schneider. Clears him easily off turn 4. Not much of a fight there, but didn't really have much of a choice. Little Gregson flying around the top. Here comes Anthony Alfredo. Everybody's getting around him on the high side. There's Briscoe battling for 4th with Austin Cindric. Briscoe was really side-drafting him getting off into turn 1. They were door-to-door almost. Things we had a pretty decent average finish. Remember, before this rough, what is now going to be 3 straight races outside the top 20 from what it's looking like, assuming this continues for Schneider tonight. He had 4 straight top 10s in the 4 races prior to that.
Inside. Hold your line, got 1 inside.
And in 5 out of 6 races in that stretch, he was able to finish in the top 10, including 2 second-place finishes at Texas and Talladega in that stretch.
Car there on the outside.
Drivers right on the bubble currently in points, as well as Daniel Hemrick. Those drivers without a win this season. Net picked the wrong lane. He went up high. Actually got into the back of Schneider in the center of turns 1 and 2. He's still pushing. Brandon Brown passes the net now for 9th.
The outside now.
57 laps to go. Almost within the fuel window to make it to the end. As far as the fuel goes, Schneider should be able to make it to about 27 laps to go before he has to pit. figuring they'll probably still be 3 laps down at that time.
Inside.
That hurts to shove Schneider out of the way for 11th. So he's in 11th. He wasn't battling Schneider for 11th. Schneider hasn't battled anybody all day. Again, that has been the weird thing. He's been dead last on speed. He's running 32nd. So you can say the strategy's helped a little bit.
Car there on the outside.
And obviously the 2 DNFs as well have helped. So a little bit of luck thrown in there also on top of the strategy. Doing all he can. Running about 6-7 laps down at Iowa. At least it's not that bad up to this point. 3 laps down at the end of Chicago. That was also a short track, and this is
Got a car coming inside now.
Here's Segan 13th. Remember, he was leading off that last restart. Boy, he really fell back quick. Curious to know how he got up there where he did. He must have stayed out of the pits under the last caution. Some drivers are pitting, some
Got
are
a car
staying
high
out.
now.
We had 3 cautions immediately in the first 20 laps of the final stage, and it really split the strategy up for a lot of these guys. They probably all have to pit within about 15 laps, 20 laps of each other, but it's going to be a group of them coming down, and then after about 5 laps, another group, and then probably another 10 to 15 laps after that before you see the final group of cars that pitted under the last yellow. Would have to pit if it did go green all the way to the finish. Hard to see everything do get sorted out though. We're rooting for ourselves to win the championship, but remember, I'm somewhat rooting for Harrison Burton to at least do what he can to dominate this season. I don't think, at least on this game, NASCAR Heat 5, really NASCAR Heat 4, the NASCAR Heat Series in general, I don't think we've seen a driver actually like dominate like we've seen Burton dominate this season, winning 4 of the first 13 races. And now in race number 16, he's about to maybe even win another. I mean, he's on a pace where almost every 3 races he gets a win. That's the pace he's had so far this season. That's just insane. Can he keep it up all year, though, is going to be the major question. Problem is, all those playoff points going to him, and he's leading the regular season championship, remember, as well. All these points going to him, it might make him an absolute lock for the championship 4. Going to hurt a team like Schneider. If they do start to get the speed and start turning around by the time the playoffs come by, he might not have to point his way into the round of 8. Burton can get that spot on points easily if he doesn't win, which would mean if Burton doesn't win a race in that round, unless Schneider can somehow catch up in points on Burton, he's going to have to win. And any of those 3 races in that round, which I believe would be Kansas, Texas, and Martinsville.
Car there on the outside.
And again, he's been good on the mile and a half this year. Now, they have not raced at Kansas. The only trip to Kansas is in the playoffs. So no clue how he would do there. And he did finish Texas in 2nd place earlier this year. Martinsville, he hasn't had a short track chassis up to this point this season. By that point in the year, very late in the year, he will have it. To make the playoffs by then. Guess you go back to before we even rolled onto the racetrack at Daytona as well, and I mentioned I don't see us getting more than 3 wins this season. 3 wins is kind of that cap, I feel like. 16 races out of 33, we've only won 1. 16 once the checkered flag flies today, at least. We'll be halfway through the season after the next race. retirement. More than halfway through the regular season already, and that one win is still the only one showing for it. Glad we were able to pull that off when we did. Remember, it went to overtime. Chastain, with 3 laps to go in that race, had about a 2-second lead. I don't think we were going to catch him. Caution came on, we were in second place. Jumped the gun on the restart, led the final 2 laps of the race and won. We did win a stage earlier in the day, and we would have finished second still, but then we'll be talking about 3 second place finishes this year, but no wins to show for it. If we didn't have that win, we would currently be outside the playoffs looking in. We're lucky with the win. That's the only thing keeping us in. Because I doubt we're going to stay inside the top 12 for points after today. So again, now, if we fall outside the top 12, we're basically banking on, hopefully, we don't get any different winners. Or we can get 2 of them, but we can't get any more than 2. This race is not over. I know Harrison Burton's leading right now, and there's only 44 laps to go now for Burton at the line. But he hasn't won this race yet. We're still racing for a reason. Billy Kramer, welcome to the stream. Still 7 seconds behind CJ McLaughlin.
Get inside.
We'll be for 31st. Austin Hill, 8 seconds ahead.
Yellow's out.
Caution.
Down.
Caution will wave for what could be the final time of the day. A lot of drivers 3 laps down. Schneider's racing right now. Remember, he can't fall back past 30 seconds. Ross Chastain was the other driver to DNF. He was in the top 10 in points without a win. He's actually the highest running driver in points without a win so far this year. He was 7th coming into the day in the regular season standings. That is not a caution Harrison Burton wanted to see. With just 44 laps to go. And we will have another pit stop. Schneider's going to take another round of wedge out of the race car. Topping it off on fuel, 4 fresh tires. He's got one more set of tires left the rest of the way. And here we go to another restart.
You're coming to the green. Almost ready. Green flag, green flag.
There's a 5th yellow of the race. Green flag back in the air. Timmy Hill has now DNF'd. And up to 31st now. It's another spot.
Stay on the bottom. Car there on the outside. Still there. Careful, still there. All right, you're clear there. Stay low, stay low.
So everybody hit pit road during that caution as well.
Still there.
So everybody's good on fuel to the end of the race.
Outside, outside.
3 wide. Schneider still getting pushed by the 07 of Ray Black Jr.
Still there. All clear. Outside.
There you had snow and a small earthquake. Man. We got snow today. We got a couple inches.
Careful, still there.
We're supposed to get a couple
Outside,
inches
outside.
today. 2 to 4 is what they were calling. I don't know how much is on the ground now. The wind's starting to stick about an hour before it went dark.
Outside, outside.
Been able to look outside since it got dark, because once it got dark, we streamed it just after 8 o'clock. Chase Briscoe back to the lead. At least that'd be another repeat winner. What Schneider's asking for, even if it's not Harrison Burton. But again, that caution is not what Burton wanted. He's going to want a shot to win this race. Schneider thought about taking the wave around, but it didn't work for him one time, it worked for him another. He decided to play it safe. He knows he can make enough fuel at the end of the race. Lock himself in with a 31st place finish. If he would have gotten the quick yellow after taking the wave around this time, he would have actually gotten inside the top 25. He does have an extra set of tires left too, where if the caution comes out late, he can pit and try to hopefully gain at least up to 25th. This could be doable. Jesse Little to the lead off turn 2. Second time he's now led tonight. After starting at the rear nonetheless. And that JD Motorsports number 4 car. Late in this race. Not super late. Still a lot of time left. Especially still young into this green flag run. Everything's still packed together from the restart. Joey Logano fan, welcome to the stream. Does go great to the end. Schneider will lose one more lap. 4 laps down. Jesse Little trying to pull off a shocker after starting at the rear of the field today. And leading with now less than 35 laps to go on a mile and a half nonetheless. We saw Jeremy Clements pull off an upset win at Charlotte. That was on a mile and a half this year. Caution! Caution is out as Austin Cindric just took the lead away from Jesse Little. Now our 6th caution of the race, 5th of the final stage, and while Schneider could have taken the wave around because it would have worked that time. And that would have locked him into a 24th place finish at least. That's painful. That is painful. It would have been a risk, but my goodness. My goodness. One driver on the lead lap is going to pit. That would be Matt Mills in 16th. Green flag about to wave again. Tyler Burback, welcome to the stream. We'll about 4 laps down. Well, we're actually 3 laps down. But we are just slow. We're just slow. I don't know why we came out to this racetrack as slow as we were. Definitely upsetting considering the fact that this is a mile and a half. This has been our strong suit this season. We only got one more of these before the playoffs at Kentucky in a few races. Have to hope for the best of this. Harrison Burton to the lead. Off turn 4, passing Austin Cindric on the restart. It looks like Anthony Alfredo towards the front of the field as well. Maybe trying to do something. Better stayed out of the pits. He's conserving that final set of tires in case we get another caution. That'll pit under the next one unless we get one in a couple laps here, but I guess he's going to have to take it regardless. I don't know how many more cautions you can hope for. Already had a lot. Now Anthony Alfredo to the bottom into turn 3 to take the lead back now from Harrison Burton. He easily clears him off turn 4. Alfredo trying to get his first win of the season. "27 laps left at Chicago." DNF'd out of the race during that last year. We're not sure who was out on it. And Matt Mills' pit strategy worked. Only got about 10 lap pressure tires than everybody else on the lead lap. My goodness, if he wins this race, what does that mean for the playoff field? Probably be one of the last drivers who would have expected to win on a mile and a half. Jesse Little would be a shocker of itself. Jeremy Clements was a shocker. Anthony Alfredo, even to a certain extent, for RCR would be a shocker. But as big as Matt bet Hill's good to at least the top 10 now. He was at 16th before. He's going to have to gain some sort of time, you would think. Laps to go. We'll stick with the mobile camera to the end of the race now. Snyder's actually got a decent amount of speed going for him. For some reason on this restart, he was able to pass Mike Harmon. I don't think Schneider's passed a car all day long that hasn't been on a restart. Getting up to speed. Once he's been up to speed, I don't think he's passed a car all day. He can get a top 25 still. It's doable. He can finish as high as 25th.
Careful, still there. Still there.
What happened to Suarez went to Talladega and rejected? Oh, that would lock him into the playoffs. Anybody that hasn't won this year, it would lock him in, assuming we don't get more than 16 winners. It'd be the same thing as when Michael McDowell won the 500. Again, a win grants you a spot in the playoffs as long as there's not more than 16 winners. The only reason why is because if there's only 16 spots in the playoffs, so if we have more than 16 winners, it will go back to points from that time on. So say there's 17 different winners, 16 of them make the playoffs. The guy who wouldn't make the playoffs is the guy who's last of those 16 wins. Or, you know what I'm saying. I said that really confusing. Whoever's last of the 17 drivers with points, in that case, would not make the playoffs. The other 16.
Careful, still there.
Looking to pass Joe Graff Jr. there a couple times, and then Joe Graff kind of started pulling away from him again. Still second behind Austin Hill for 30th. Harrison Burton back to the lead into turns 1 and 2. 20 laps to go here at Chicagoland. Burton trying to get his 5th win of the season. Trying to hold off a couple guys who have led here late like Jesse Little and Anthony Alfredo, who are looking for their first win. Become the 11th different winner in the first 16 races of the season. We're starting to slowly close back on Joe Graff Jr. again. That would not be for position.
Still there.
Yeah, this really does feel like the same Kyle Busch from last season, honestly. It really does.
Careful,
I
still
wonder
there.
what the problem is here.
Alright.
Everybody's got a down season. And a lot of Hall of Famers had a down season at some point in time in the middle of their career. Thought maybe Kyle Busch's reigned a down season like last year. He's supposed to be in his prime right now. He's in his mid-30s. Really, mid-30s, that's like your boom period. Any sport, really. Shane Jones, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I mean, he had... Who would have known with that Harvick caution coming out late? Kyle Busch could have had a chance to win this weekend on that late race restart. Because he was in 3rd before that penalty, and Bowman ended up getting a 3rd after the penalty. I mean, that could have been Kyle Busch instead of Bowman winning the race this Sunday. He could have nailed the restart as well as Bowman did, at least. Definitely took himself himself out of the shot to win there. He still finished 8th. He had a good day. More pressure for Schneider. Every time we look at that leaderboard and somebody that takes the lead that hasn't won a race this season gets out in front, especially this late, it's becoming more and more worrisome as Anthony Alfredo's back to the lead again. With 15 laps to go now at Chicagoland. Yeah, it was between Hamlin and Logano because they were like 11 seconds roughly ahead of Bowman. Unless they wrecked each other. that could have happened. They could have wrecked each other for the win, then Bowman would have won that way. I mean, it's not impossible. Yeah, that's exactly true. But, I mean, that's Blaney every season, too. But he has looked noticeably better this year. Like, Blaney's had strong runs last year, 2019, even 2018 early in the season. He had a lot of strong runs, but he didn't have a win to show for a total playoffs. Same with 2019, we had a lot of strong runs in the regular season, but bad luck and could win to the playoffs at Dega. Kind of the story of Blaney's career, really. Where, I mean, he's very well looked like he can win 3 or 4 races a year. He ends up winning 1 because luck only falls on his side once. It's an untimely caution. Pit road penalty like at Martinsville. There's nothing of his own doing. Yeah, he has been very consistent. I mean, he's 5th in points through the first quarter of the season. That's impressive in itself. Win or not. He's got that win, so you know he's locked in. Go for broke now. Try to get as many wins as possible because it's going to be tough for him to get out of the round of 16 again this year because his 2 worst tracks, Richmond and Darlington, are the first 2 races of the playoffs again. Good news is he finished 11th at Richmond. Still not great, but it's a career best, so he was trending somewhat in the right direction. He scored stage points early in the race, too, so maybe give him some sort of confidence for that race later in the season. He's going to need all the playoff points he can get. Maybe he wins this weekend. He's won at Talladega 2 of the last 3 races there. You never know. He's been trying to get around Austin Hill for position the last couple laps. Alfredo leads with 9 laps to go now at Chicago. Fast Pasta trying to get it done. NASCAR Xfinity Series. Driving 21 for Richard Childress Racing. We'll get a quick caution here. Schneider's going to end up going 4 laps down. He's got to clear Austin Hill for 30th off turn 4. That's another point to the end of the races. He's got to get all the points he can. Alfredo wins. That's another new winner. Schneider's going to do his best effort to try and block Alfredo and hope somebody with the win can end up passing him because Schneider's got to be protective. And Harrison Burton's right there on the outside. Alfredo went to the bottom in turns 1 and 2. Alfredo went to the top, and Alfredo gave up a lot of ground on quarter exit. Burton's all over his back bumper off turn 4 now. Look at Austin Hill zigzagging back and forth. He's trying to stay on the same lap. Hill's going to get in the way. Schneider's going to go high now in front of Anthony Alfredo as he blocks the 21 car off turn 2. But by giving up the bottom, Austin Hill's going to get underneath him. So Schneider's going to lose a position, perhaps. And Harrison Burton to the high side, and Burton's going to take the lead off turn 4. Alfredo stuck behind Austin Hill and Keegan Schneider. He still can't get around those guys. 6 laps to go now for Harrison Burton. Here at Chicagoland, riding the wall. And Alfredo moves Schneider out of the way now. He's saying, I gotta go. Here comes Cindric and Briscoe as well. All trying to gang up now on Harrison Burton. Noah Gregson's in the mix. Top 5 under a blanket. 5 to go at the line at Chicagoland for Harrison Burton, who's trying to get his 5th win of the season as he runs the high side. Alfredo trying to dig on the bottom. Did Schneider do enough to try to have somebody that has won a race already try to win again? Jesse Little's also without a win this year, so he's going to try to block him. Little's in 6th currently. Little's going to try to move Schneider out of the way as well off turn 4. Moves him all the way up the track, almost into the wall. Can't blame those guys for moving him, though, even on a faster mile and a half like it is. He was blocking it's not like he was blocking for position either. He was blocking at 4 laps down. Or 3 laps down with the leaders. There's still heavy lap traffic around each of the top 5 who are all under a blanket trying to win this race. Harrison Burton still has the lead. 3 laps to go at the line.
Got one peeking outside.
Rick in 7th, also without a win. Jeffrey Earnhardt, great run in 8th place.
Still there.
This would be his 3rd straight top 10 for Jeffrey Earnhardt if he can hang on, which he's got a pretty big gap over 9th and 10th right now as well. He's still battling Hendrick for 7th. He had a great run off turn 2. Going to go to the bottom to try and pass Hendrick through 3 and 4. Next position ahead of Schneider is Baccarella at 29th. 2.5 seconds ahead. 2 laps to go for Harrison Burton. Boy, Anthony Alfredo, I mean, he's got to be right there still. But knowing how close he was and just hasn't been able to get a win here in these last couple races. He looked very strong in Iowa. Led a lot of laps in that race. Couldn't seal the deal, and he led some laps here late. Looked like he was going to have a chance. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Harrison Burton has just lost the lead to Anthony Alfredo down the back straightaway. Into turns 3 and 4 one final time. Is Alfredo going to pull off a last lap pass for the win? Burton got caught in the lap traffic to the line. Anthony Alfredo wins at Chicagoland. He comes back after getting past with 6 to go. A last lap pass for the win down the back straightaway to win at Chicagoland for himself. Schneider did all he could to hold him back, and Alfredo did a remarkable job hunting Burton back down. And Burton gets robbed of his 5th win of the year for Alfredo to get his 1st and a spot in the playoffs. Wow. 20 drivers finished on the lead lap today. Anthony Alfredo wins by a couple tenths of a second. You have to imagine Burton got held up off turn 2 and down the back straightaway by a lap car, and he finished about 2/10 of a second behind. It looked like Burton had it won when he was leading those laps and kind of pulled ahead just a tiny bit after Schneider tried to hold off Alfredo as long as he could to make sure he didn't win the race, and he still won it. And a bad finish here by Schneider, no stage points in finishing 30th. Scores him only 7 points for his finishing position. That's not good. Take a look at the finishing results inside the top 10. Again, Alfredo with the win, Burton 2nd. Chase Briscoe finishes 3rd, Noah Gragson 4th. Those were the 2 stage winners today. Austin Cindric rounds out the top 5. Jesse Little 6th with a great run after starting at the rear. Daniel Hendrick 7th. Jeffrey Earnhardt with a great run himself at 8th. Michael Annett 9th. And Brandon Brown rounds out the top 10. Again, 20 drivers finished on the lead lap, 6 cautions per incident today, 5 of which in the final stage, and we have 3 DNFs of Timmy Hill, Ross Chastain, and Tommy Joe Martins today. And Schneider finished 30th. 4 laps down. 3 straight finishes of 28th or worse now for Schneider. He is now 12th in the point standings. Would you look at this? Anthony Alfredo, who is outside the cutoff line, wins today's race, making it 11 different winners so far this season, which means Ross Chastain has the last spot and the only spot on points over his teammate Justin Haley. And he's got a big gap. He's got over a 1-race buffer on Haley, but again, that is no safe spot for Chastain. We get another new winner behind him. Chastain's out of the playoffs, and not only he's out of the playoffs, he would have to win because we'd have 12 different winners if we just get one more different winner. We know those Scully cars are good on the super speedways. Expect them to compete at Daytona, and they're fast enough to compete on these other racetracks, especially the intermediates as well. Alex LeBay is good on road courses. Seed's come close to winning a couple times this year. Earps is still in JGR car, and JGR's won 6 races this season. 5, excuse me. Toyotas have won 6 of the first 16. What a win for Anthony Alfredo, and what a topsy-turvy season. I mean, you talk about parity within this schedule. I mean, that's insane. 88 laps led today by Burton as well. He didn't win a stage, but he led the most laps, and he finished second. Got passed on the last lap. We are in the playoffs currently because we won at Atlanta. But if we get more than 12 winners, we're going to have to point our way in. And right now, we're 12th in points. And only 12 make the playoffs, so we are right there on the cutoff line. If we get more than 12 winners, which we're only 2 more winners away from doing that, we still have 10 races until the playoffs. 2 more road courses and a super speedway. Throw some wild cards into the mix there. I mean, that is just unbelievable. I mean, you can't script what has happened in this Xfinity Series season. We had some wild races where we were battling for the win, we were getting really fast, and then we just got hit. I mean, we had 4 straight top 10s. I think, we had 7 top 10s in the first 11 races? Something like that, and you look at the last 3, and we finished 28th or worse. We haven't DNF'd yet this season, so, I mean, again, we're keeping the car fairly clean. Moderate driving for this one. We have to use the same chassis at Pocono, but I didn't expect us to be fast at Pocono or Michigan anyway. Noah Gregson. Hey, don't worry about the last race. Everybody has them. Just pick yourself up and get back out there. We've been getting these messages for the last few races now. It has not been a good stretch for us. Austin Hill, don't worry about how you've been doing lately. You'll snap out of the slump in no time. Hopefully, Austin, hopefully. Hey, that was a nice race. I think he meant that because we raced clean, but we've been racing clean most of the races this season. We were aggressive at Atlanta and we won the race. That in Talladega and Daytona we were aggressive too, but outside of that, I mean, we've been super clean. Next race at Pocono. We have to get 2 top 15s in the next 2 races to get our incentive bonus of $18,720. I doubt we finish in the top 15 in both these 2 races. I'd be surprised if we did it in one of them, to be quite honest. We have to use the Speedway chassis. 84, 83, and an 80 when we go to Pocono. I don't know, guys. We're saving money, and the problem is we're trying to save money, and we're not getting any. We are not getting any money, and we need to try to get that short track chassis as soon as possible here for the playoffs. We got 11 more races, but we still, 3 races ago we needed about $900,000, and we've gotten less than $100,000 in the last 3 races combined. Now, Pocono's one of the bigger purses this season. $93,000 to win. That'd be big. That's not counting our contract. We've only had 1 incentive bonus we've completed this year. We're 1 for 3. So that's costed us this season also. Well, better luck next week. It's going to be a week before the next NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode episode, but we will be running NASCAR Heat 5 on Thursday with the custom schedule season and an online lobby as well. Hopefully this Wi-Fi is going to be good enough to cooperate with it. I would assume it would, but we'll hope for the best. It'll be tough, though, still with OBS going on at the same time, but we'll attempt it. So you have that to look forward to. Next full race live stream will be tomorrow, NASCAR 05, doubleheader likely. No guarantee, but likely a doubleheader coming up. Busch Series at Red Bull Raceway, no matter what. And if we do a second race, it'll be at Talladega. It's just going to depend what time I get done, because I will have to work a half day on Thursday. So got to make sure I'm not up too late tomorrow night. Got a busy week ahead of me going to Dega here. Just a few more days. We're almost there. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Have a good one, everybody.